Amy Sloan's chalk paint, a light brown and a dark brown craft paint, a cheesecloth or some paper towels, a couple of cheap brushes, some matte spray paint, some water for changing out your colors, and of course your fake pumpkin. I picked up my pumpkin from Michael's and it was on sale for $8. So to start, you're going to take your white paint and start cutting in around the stem. Don't worry if you get some paint on the stem because we're going to end up painting the stem out a little bit with that white anyways. Covering your pumpkin completely isn't super important at this point. I actually like a little bit of the orange coming through here and there to give it some variation. I think it looks more authentic that way. Once your first layer of paint is dry, you can go back in with that same white paint and cover up any spots that might be missing a little bit too much. And I'm actually using pretty thick paint here because I like to add some texture. Pumpkin a quick spray with that clear coat just to seal that chalk paint in. Next, I'll be making up my brown glaze or wash, if you will. So I'm taking a pretty light brown color and putting it into a mixing bowl. I'm adding a little bit of water to thin it out. My color was a little bit light, so I went ahead and took that dark brown color that I picked out and added just a little bit of that. Now it's time to wash your pumpkin with that glaze that we made up. And if your glaze is too thick, you can go ahead and add some more water at any point. And next you'll be taking your cheesecloth or some soft paper towels and just kind of wiping off any excess and patting it at the same time. If you don't let your layers fully dry like I didn't do, you might have some spots that pull off, but that's totally fine because we're going to go back over with white paint again and we can fix that. I'm applying most of my color at the base of that stem because if you look at a real pumpkin, most of its color, if it has any at all, will be starting at the base of that stem. So that's just a little trick to help it look even more real. Back in with my white paint, I'm fixing those spots that pulled off, and I'm also covering up any areas of the glaze that I felt like were just too heavy and kept it from looking like a true white pumpkin. this point I decided I wanted to add a little bit of the white to the stem just to make the pumpkin look a little bit more cohesive. White pumpkins don't usually have such a dark stem, so we want to lighten it up just a little bit. I'm taking a little bit of that dark brown and just accentuating the stem back up again very lightly, and then wipe away anything that looks like a paintbrush stroke with that cheesecloth or your paper towels if you don't have one. Okay, we're almost done at this point. But I did take the white just one last time and I thinned it out to create another wash, and I'm going over the whole pumpkin to soften out any brush strokes or unevenness, just to give it one final layer.